to all of you, and thank you for your attending this webinar. My name is Jean-Luc Lenard, and I'm a sales manager at LNE for the healthcare business, and I will be the moderator for this webinar. Today, we will present how to manage the medical device modifications, but as each notified body implements its own measures answering to this regulatory point, only LNE GMED customers were invited. Indeed, it is a quickly changing regulatory context which pushes medical device manufacturers to document rigorously their changes. The speaker today is Christine Canton, who is in charge with the technical file assessment of medical devices. Graduated as a material engineer, Christine joined LNE GMED in 2004, where she has been a certification project manager, a product assessor, an auditor, and a pedagogic manager. Since April 2012, she's in charge with the technical file assessment activity for Class 3 products. She participates to assessment practices harmonization, assessors qualification, and she facilitates peer review meetings. But before turning it over to Christine, I would like to briefly remind you about LNE's activity. The National Laboratory for Testing and Metrology employs about 800 people, most of them high-level engineers and technicians based in 9 locations in France and 4 locations outside France. LNE brings all of its expertise and technical solutions to companies, public sector, and communities answering performance, competitiveness, and above all, product safety criteria, whatever your field of activity is, whether it's medical, consumer goods, housing, energy, transport, etc. So, LNE offers multidisciplinary services and is involved in research programs in various fields. To achieve this, LNE owns 35 accreditations and works for 20 European directives. Focusing on the medical and health market, LNE offers a wide range of service going from technical and regulatory assistance, testing and product qualifications. LNE is also part of the CB-SKIN program, making its reports recognized in about 50 countries, and offer various certifications, some voluntary, such as the ISO ones in quality, safety, and environment, but also regulatory ones like the CE marking. LNE GMED is the French notified body with the CE number 0459. LNE GMED provides access to CE marking through all of the proof mods and covers all of the European directives regarding medical devices. Through its numerous accreditations, recognitions, and partnerships, LNE GMED will allow you accessing international markets, and among them to Brazil, thanks to our in-metro accreditation, to Canada, as LNE GMED is a registrar for Health Canada, the USA, as we can perform FDA inspections, and recently joined the pilot phase of the Medical Device Single Audit Program, MDSAP, for 5 large markets. You must surely understand LNE is at your service to accompany you in all of your medical device projects. Let's start the webinar now. Christine Canton will explain you how to handle medical device changes with LNE GMED. Christine, the floor is yours.
Hello everybody. Let's talk about the control of changes in the framework of CE marking of medical devices. First of all, I would like to talk about the regulatory context. In November 2014, the following document has been issued. It is an NBOG 2014-3 guidance for manufacturers and notified bodies on reporting design changes and changes of quality systems. This document is about modifications related to quality management system, modifications related to the device, modifications related to a product range extension. LNEG Med issued its own document, guidance document for the interpretation of significant change in the framework of EC type and EC design assessment. So this guide covers the following directives: 9342, 9385, 9879, and at that stage I would like to focus on the fact that our guidance document is about Class 3 medical devices, and Class 2B when they are covered by an Annex 3. The aim of our guidance document is to support the identification of any substantial change made to a medical device and to support the classification of a change, whether it is a substantial change or a non-substantial change. As a reminder, I would like to say that LNEG Med guidance document does not replace or otherwise affect the regulatory documents, legislation, or official guidance documents. And the question is, what is a substantial change? It is a change that can impact the safety or effectiveness or performances of a medical device, the conformity with the essential requirements of the applicable directive, quality, safety, usefulness of the combined devices, and the claims used. What can be the consequences of a substantial change? Among others, it can be new risk for patients that have not been previously identified, increased probability of existing risk occurrence, user exposition alteration to existing or new risk, change of a device specifications, components, and/or material, change of medical device intended use. How to control a substantial change? Each substantial change shall be assessed for approval by LNEG Med prior to its implementation by the manufacturer. Each substantial change implemented by the manufacturer without approval by LNEG Med is not covered by a valid CE marking certificate. In that case, it would be free under the responsibility of the manufacturer. As a reminder, I would like to say that when several changes are planned by the manufacturer, each of them shall be individually considered. In the case of an important number of changes, an initial assessment should be considered. This question should be discussed with the CPM. How to control a non-substantial change? Each change classified as non-substantial shall be controlled and documented in the manufacturer's quality system. The changes classified as non-substantial by the manufacturer will be reviewed during the next annual audit. So this means that the manufacturer must have provisions in its quality management system to control all the changes, to classify the changes, whether they are substantial or not. And then each change must be documented and all the records must be available for the on-site audit when it's about non-substantial change. So there are different types of changes. Let's talk about design change. So design change can be about control mechanism, operating principle, energy type, expiration date, primary packaging, environmental specifications, performance specifications, ergonomics of patients, use interface, physical, biological, macrobiological, or dimensional specifications. Material change for medical device or active implantable medical device. Such change could be sourcing or processing of human origin or drugs materials, geographical source of animals, the animal origin raw materials, and the processes for selection, collection, handling, control, and inactivation, elimination, that may modify their viral safety. Changes regarding tissue or derivatives, selection processes, collection, processing, handling, inactivation, and elimination, or any new data collected by the manufacturer and relevant to the medical device with regard to TSE risk for the species concerned by the regulation number 722-2012. Changes within a material type or changes in the formulation that can affect the chemistry, metallurgy, or other properties such as stability, transport, stability of a device. To be noted, if a material supplier is a critical one, then the change is classified as substantial. If a supplier or vendor of a material changes and that it is not a critical one, but the material meets the manufacturer's previously reviewed specifications and acceptance criteria, with the exception of human or animal derived materials, then that change is not substantial. So at that stage, I would like to say to the manufacturers that they have to make the difference between critical compound materials and non-critical compound materials, so that they can evaluate whether the change is substantial or not. For material change of IVD medical device, that can be the need of additional clinical testing to determine the performance characteristics, change of the device operating principle, for example, immunofluorescence to ELISA, material change that can impact the operating principle of an IVD medical device, which leads in an update of the labeling. For sterilization change, that can be increase of a bioburden rate of action level or introduction of an organism more difficult to kill, change of manufacturing site, design change of a device and the material with introduction of a characteristic more difficult to sterilize, change of the sterilization process of the equipment or the cycle parameters, change of a sterilization supplier, changes related to the density or the sterilization load, changes in the quality control verification and the process validation, such as the use of parametric release. To be noted, when a change linked to sterilization is scheduled, the device with its packaging shall be considered, and it's not only about the device alone. Software change. It can be software change which has an incidence on the device control and which could alter the diagnostic of a treatment delivered to the patient. Software change that could alter an algorithm impacting the diagnosis or a therapy delivered. Software change that impacts the way data is read or interpreted by the user, such that the treatment or diagnosis of a patient may be altered when compared to a previous version of the software. Software change that replaces a previously recorded user input to closed-loop decision. Addition of a new feature to the software that may change the diagnosis or therapy delivered to the patient. Introduction or removal of a new alarm function in the software, such as a response to the new configuration, may change the treatment of a patient in comparison to the previous version of the software. Software change that incorporates the change of the operating system on which the software runs. About labeling change, it can be change of a device intended use, limitation of intended use following information related to safety and efficiency, addition of a contraindication, removal of a contraindication, change of the expiration dates, claim of reuse of devices previously labeled as single-use, change of the name and address of a manufacturer, change of name and address of a European representative, change of a product name, including accessories and variants. For manufacturing change, it can be addition of a manufacturing facility, moving of a manufacturing facility, change of a manufacturing process, a facility or an equipment at a critical supplier, change of an acceptance criteria or a test method, removal of an acceptance criteria that the product in progress of manufacturing and during the final inspection. So to be noted, changing process parameters on manufacturing equipment to ensure robust capability when new process parameters are within the validated window of a particular process would not be considered as a significant change. So this means that during the qualification of the operational qualification of a process, the manufacturer would need to test the bigger limit he can to avoid some submission of updated process parameters. For combined devices, whatever the type of modification is, the evaluation of an impact on quality, safety, usefulness is to be performed and forwarded to LNE-GMED. This evaluation is used to determine if a complementary consultation of a competent authority is required. If a change has an impact on quality, safety, usefulness, a submission to a competent authority is required to confirm the maintenance of quality, security, and risk-benefit ratio. So when the manufacturer has a substantial changes, how to do it? First of all, the manufacturer should use the documents issued by LNE-GMED, which is the list of elements to provide. And then the manufacturer should forward the documentation related to the sections impacted by the changes. To be noted here is that whatever the change is about, the manufacturer needs to add the current result of post-market data. Before the submission of the file, the manufacturer should fulfill a questionnaire and then send it back to us so that we can plan the submission. And the link is written on this slide. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Christine. Of course, as I was told, you may contact your certification project manager directly to answer specific questions. But please note that we also have a guide available from our website on this topic. Also note that we have all of our webinars in English available for reviewing from our dedicated website, which is www.webinars.lne.eu. So this webinar is now coming to an end. Thank you very much again to all of you for attending, and Christine, thank you very much for your inputs. We hope that we met your expectations and that we will see you again soon for our other events. Feel free to contact us. As you can see here, this is the details to contact us. And thank you, and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.